Hey everyone, and welcome to Tiny Hots of Praise. Today, we are heading on a super exciting adventure. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a boat big enough to fit every single kind of animal in the world? Like a lion, a tiger, a little tiny mouse, and even a giant giraffe, all on one boat. Well, get ready, because today we're diving into the amazing story of Noah's Ark. A long time ago, the world was a beautiful place, but people weren't being very kind to each other or to the world. It made God very sad. But there was one man named Noah who was different. Noah was a good and kind person who always tried to do the right thing. So, God decided to speak to Noah. He told Noah that a giant flood was coming, like a rainstorm bigger than anyone had ever seen, and it would cover the whole world with water. But don't worry, God had a special plan for Noah, his family, and all the animals to stay safe. He gave Noah a very important job. Noah, God said, I want you to build a giant boat. A huge, enormous ark. And God gave him the exact instructions. It had to be super long, super wide, and super tall, with a roof on top and a big door on the side. It needed to have lots of rooms inside, enough for everyone. This wasn't just any little rowboat. This was going to be the biggest boat the world had ever seen. So, Noah, his wife, and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, along with their wives, got to work. Can you imagine the sound? Bang, 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 bang went the hammers. Saw, saw, saw went the saws. They worked day after day, cutting down tall gopher wood trees and fitting the giant planks together. They hammered and sawed, and slowly, this incredible ark started to take shape. It was so big, it probably looked like a floating building. The neighbors probably thought, what is Noah doing, building a giant boat in the middle of dry land? But Noah trusted God and kept on building. While Noah and his family were building, God gave Noah another very important task. He told him to gather 2 of every kind of animal in the world, 1 boy and 1 girl. Can you picture that? 2 lions, 2 tigers, 2 elephants, 2 monkeys, 2 penguins, 2 koalas, ... 2 of everything. From the slithery snakes to the chirpy birds. From the creepy crawlies to the big, stompy hippos. They all had to come aboard the ark. So, the animals started to arrive. Imagine a giant parade. 2 by 2. They came from all over the world. The monkeys swung in. The kangaroos hopped along. And the turtles slowly plodded their way to the big door of the ark. Elephants with their long trunks. Giraffes with their long necks. And little ladybugs crawling up the ramp. It must have been an incredible sight. Noah welcomed them all onto the ark, making sure each pair had a cozy spot inside. It was like the world's biggest, most amazing floating zoo. Once Noah, his family, and all the animals were safely inside the ark, God shut the big, heavy door. And then it started to rain. At first, it was just a few drops. Pita! Pata! Pita! Pata! But then it rained harder, and harder, and harder. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights without stopping. The rivers and oceans began to rise, and soon the whole world was covered in water, just like God had said. The giant ark, once sitting on dry land, began to float. Inside the ark, Noah and his family were busy. They had a lot of work to do. They had to feed all the animals. Can you imagine breakfast time? Here are some leaves for the giraffes, some fish for the penguins, and some seeds for the birds. Roar, hiss, chirp. It must have been a very noisy boat. They had to make sure all the animals were safe and comfortable as the ark bobbed and swayed on the water. Even though there was a huge storm outside, everyone inside the ark was safe and dry, protected by the strong walls Noah had built. After raining for 40 days and 40 nights, the rain finally stopped. But the water was still everywhere. The ark floated on the massive ocean for many, many months. Noah and his family probably looked out the window and saw nothing but water, water, and more water. They had to be very patient. Finally, one day, Noah wanted to see if there was any dry land. So he sent out a bird, a raven, but it just flew around and came back. A little while later, he sent out a dove. The dove flew away, but it came back too, because it couldn't find a place to land. Noah waited another 7 days and sent the dove out again. This time, the dove came back with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. An olive leaf! That meant that trees were starting to grow again. Dry land was appearing. Noah was so happy. He waited 1 more week and sent the dove out one last time. And this time, the dove didn't come back. It had found a new home. The water was gone. Slowly, the ark came to rest on the top of a mountain called Mount Ararat. God spoke to Noah again and said, "It's time. You can open the door." So Noah opened the giant door, and what did they see? A brand new, clean, fresh world. The sun was shining, the ground was dry, and everything was green. One by one, Noah, his family, and all the animals came out of the ark. The elephants stomped, the lions roared, and the birds flew into the bright blue sky. They were all so happy to be on dry land again. All the animals went off to find their new homes in this beautiful new world. Noah was so thankful to God for keeping them safe. He built an altar to say, "Thank you." And then God put something amazing in the sky. A beautiful, colorful rainbow. God told Noah that the rainbow was a special promise. It was a promise that he would never, ever flood the entire world with water again. So now, every time we see a rainbow in the sky after it rains, we can remember God's promise to Noah and to all of us. And that's the incredible story of Noah's Ark. It's a story about listening, about being brave, and about amazing promises. Isn't that a fantastic adventure? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you had fun, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing stories. We'll see you next time on Tiny Hearts of Praise. Bye.